This video chart presentation is Trevali Resources Corp. It's a TSX listed stock trading our ticker TV. I'm going to put this chart on radar for the rest of this week and going into next week. It's making a little bit of a wedge pattern or a flag. Some people call it a pennant. 50-day moving average is tucked in on this chart. Bollinger Bands are tightening up. Stock's had 3 straight green closes. Just something we want to put on the watch list. See if the upward pressure is going to continue. Break out of this pennant. And probably even more importantly, see if it can take out some resistance up at 80 cents. MACD has gone from a pretty strong look as it was making this climb, cooled off, but still holding over top of zero, and looks like it's just now dropping a bullish cross. This can be a pretty nice sign for this chart to really start to turn into a truly bullish trend if it can hold that zero mark and rotate the 12 and 26 EMAs and get them moving back upward. So it's at a point right now it's kind of saying pay attention to me. You can see the slow stow moving upward, showing that some momentum is building in the play. It's just now pushing through 50. That's a bullish sign. Money flow index, it kind of hit a wall at 50, turned right back down. Definitely want to see that get back above 50, show some more strength, show that people are paying higher prices for the stock. RSI, it's kind of riding right down the middle of the road. 14's registering a 55, which is something bullish. We like to see the RSI and most other indicators through their halfway point. In the case of the RSI, that signals bullish momentum is in the play. And over the last week or so, it is making slightly higher lows. So while somewhat neutral, it's definitely leaning towards the bullish side of things. Now what I see in this chart, I kept mentioning the wedge, the pennant, the flag some people will call it. You can see it along these lines. Now indeed there was the stay right through here that it pushed up, hit about 82, 83 cents, which really just reinforces the idea of a pretty hardy resistance at 80 cents. But you can see the overall pattern that the chart's making right now. And I definitely want to see this lower trend line be held even on any pullback in this stock right now. Because not only is it keeping the pattern, but it's keeping the stock price above this brown line, the 50-day moving average. Again, as the Bollinger Bands start to tighten up, that's just another thing that says pay attention to me, because Bollinger Bands, when they get tight, they don't tell you which way a stock's going to go, but they typically tell you that a larger move is coming. From a static support and resistance standpoint, again, I'm primarily looking at that trend line, and I see some static support right through that area around 65, 66 cents. Again, slightly below the trend line, so I wouldn't even like to see it fall back that far. If it did and it broke through it, there's some minor support down here around 63 cents. And I've become a little bit more leery of the chart, really trying to take on a bullish look. I think it'll be starting to go a little bit more sour, a little bit more to the bearish side of things, certainly. To the north side, again, I'm looking for the pattern to be broken. And I do see a little bit of resistance right in here through around 75, 76 cents. But the primary resistance is right there at 80 cents. Stock closed Wednesday at 73. So that's about a 10% upside to even challenge that resistance point. But even going back and taking a look at a longer term view, say a 1-year chart, you can see this is a pretty significant breakout point and leaving quite a bit of headroom for growth if the stock can blow through that point. Volume isn't huge in this play, 166,000 shares traded on Wednesday. A little bit of an uptick over Tuesday, but again, you can see this does not trade very heavily. And even to that point though, if it can make the move and can break out, I'll be looking for some taller volume bars to see the stock trading 600,000-700,000 shares in a day to help build momentum and strengthen the trend to go through a strong resistance point, which would reinforce the idea that if it breaks out and it inevitably pulls back, that it would hold this old resistance point as a new support and continue the overall uptrend over the last few months this chart's trying to make. So again, I pay attention to the trend lines. That static support is 65 cents, and on the upside, that 80-cent mark is the most important resistance point. Those are things that I'd be looking for in the TV chart. But as always, it's merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant. Strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer and disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions on any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.